the party master on Up and Go, The Bridge, 99 FM.
I have a major announcement to make this morning. It is too early to make that announcement, but you will hear more on Up and Go later on this morning. Can I now say good morning to my listeners? I think it's about time, right?
Yeah.
Good morning to all of our listeners right here in Jamaica on the 99s, 99.1, 0.3, 0.5, 0.7, and 0.9 on the FM band. And hello world, locked in right now at www.thebridge99fm.com. It's a new month. We say ta-da to September. What a month it was. Yeah. If it was left up to Audley, he would usher us out a long time ago. But mind is active. Anyway, welcome to October. It's the first day of the new month of October, and it means that we're getting closer and closer to Christmas. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to make sure that we embrace October and all that it carries. And it's now time for us to look at headlines across the bridge. First up, what do we see on the Gleaner newspaper? Wait and see. Still no positive word on Jamaica's vaccination status. It is said that 2 weeks after discussions with the United Kingdom government on the acceptance of the AstraZeneca vaccine codes not recognized by that European country, Jamaica is yet to see a change in status. The island is among a group of countries gifted with Covishield vaccines manufactured in India on behalf of the UK. Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, said he believes some progress was being made, but acknowledged that he was not in a position to comment definitively on the final position. He said further consultation was needed with Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith for clarity. I'm sure she will provide information when an agreement of some kind is reached, and we'll make it available to you, but talks are taking place, Minister Tufton stated during a press briefing yesterday afternoon. Currently, fully vaccinated Jamaicans traveling to the UK are designated unvaccinated and are required to quarantine for 10 days upon arrival there. The story also says, in the case of Jamaica, the UK donated some 300,000 doses of the AstraZeneca in July. And in the meantime, Jamaica's COVID-19 positivity rate is trending downwards, with Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Bisesa McKenzie reporting that the peak of the surge would have fallen somewhere between the last week in August and the first week in September. The trend is also favorable for bed capacity as hospitalizations continue to fall. Next up, we look at the Observer. There's a story that we're sharing with you. Digital vaccination cards by December. Jamaicans who have been vaccinated against COVID-19 are to start receiving digital vaccination cards in another 3 months, in line with a global move towards secured, machine-readable cards that are universally accepted and not vulnerable to fraud. Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, made the announcement yesterday at the ministry's weekly COVID-19 press briefing. The 3-month timeline coincides with requirements recently announced by the United States government that as of November, all foreign nationals visiting that country must provide proof of full COVID-19 vaccination to enter. Travelers are also required to present a negative COVID-19 test done within 72 hours of travel. Vaccination requires, as part of the infrastructure, a card that is going to be universally accepted and can be validated where the possibility of producing a fraudulent card is minimized. And that is also a development that we thought we'd share with you. Further afield, Waste to H is in the news. A global supply of renewable hydrogen systems and Valicum, a Caribbean ecological and energy solutions provider, today announced that they have signed a letter of intent to transform up to 9,000 tons of Martinician waste into renewable hydrogen every year. This first project between the two companies will focus on hydrogen production for power generation in the island, with possible applications for clean mobility solutions, including municipal buses in the future. Martinique is emblematic of the challenges facing many island nations, which are increasingly a model for circular economies under pressure to utilize not only their resources, but their waste. In Martinique, one of the largest waste streams is the plastic bags used to protect the island's main export product, bananas. The island uses 3,000 tons of these plastic films every year, which cannot be reused, making it an ideal feedstock for Waste2H's waste-to-hydrogen process. And I think we have enough time to carry one more story. We're picking this one up from the CNN. Biden's agenda in limbo as progressives defy pressure from Pelosi. An extraordinary day and night of wrenching tension, failed 11th-hour deal-making, and festering mistrust between liberal and moderate Democrats left President Joe Biden's vast domestic agenda in a dangerous limbo. Progressive Democrats on Thursday defied fierce pressure from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and refused to pass a $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill, flexing new leverage in a bid to guarantee trillions more in the most sweeping social spending plan in a generation. It is a rare day when Pelosi fails to control her caucus, but the veteran speaker, viewed with awe by many members of her vote counting abilities, adopted a high-risk strategy to try to force a vote on the first leg of Biden's forward-looking agenda. The infrastructure bill, which is the centerpiece of Biden's outreach to Republicans and is called for national unity, pours tens of billions of dollars into railroads, roads, airports, and bridges. But it seems like many members of the Democratic Party are defying authority and are going against what Pelosi and even President Biden would want them to do in terms of a vote. It's a major development, and this is going to have certain implications, negative implications really, for President Biden's domestic agenda. Right now, we're going to be speaking with our first scheduled guest for the morning. In a recent interview, she shared information that she would be calling on the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation to cease contributions from her salary to the PNP, and that she will be severing ties with the People's National Party. She's currently a councilor, and that took all of us by surprise. We are joined at this time by Venetia Phillips, PNP councilor for the Papine Division. Good morning, Venetia. How are you?
Good morning, Richie. I'm great, thank you.
A lot has happened since the last time we had an on-air conversation, which sort of culminated in that announcement that came out recently. Now, I have to ask you, Venetia, after so many years of contribution and representing the People's National Party, you have decided to call it quits. Is that so? And if so, why at this time?
No, let me put it into context for you. I am pretty much suspending my membership. What does that mean?
Tell me.
It means that you are not, you would not have certain rights within the party. I remain a comrade. It means that public events of the PNP would still be open and available to me. But I would not be a financial member of the People's National Party, which means that you couldn't participate by way of making certain contributions to certain meetings that would be restricted to financial membership.
That's interesting. So we could still see you popping up at a national conference or going on the campaign trail with a particular comrade that you're supporting going towards an election, for instance?
Not if Mark Golden is leader, because, Richie, what I made very clear, and I remain, convinced of at this time, and I see no reason to change that yet, is that I do not believe that Mark Golden, with the position that I have known him to hold in respect of what the PNP should be and what it should stand for, then I do not believe that Mark Golden should face the electorate as the person to lead Jamaica on behalf of the People's National Party. The People's National Party is a party that is premised on democratic socialism. Let me just say this to you, Richie.
Yes.
That is not irrelevant at this time or at any time. It is the underpinning, and the constitution of the party, basically says that the essence of the PNP is to provide a solid social space and better work for the people of Jamaica based on the principles of democratic socialism.
Are you sensing that the current leadership is moving away from democratic socialism?
Not the leadership. Mark Goldin explicitly stated in a meeting where I was present that he believes that the label of democratic socialism is a divisive one. Now, Richie, I don't know whether or not Mark Goldin had the appreciation for what that really mean or what it meant, but that for me is clear. And there are some with a more capitalistic thinking. I remember we're talking about a People's Party now, So the People's National Party is for all Jamaicans, so it is not restricted to only persons who believe in the principles of democratic socialism. However, the leader of the PNP must be a person who would basically value that foundation, that premise, in order to be able to represent that in terms of our policies and everything that we would plan for Jamaica. So you couldn't have a leader who don't believe in what you stand for, if you get what I mean.
I understand what you're saying. Did this come to light prior to his election or after his election?
Prior to his election, as a matter of fact, when the whole idea of him going up came up, I raised it again with the party because I had raised it before. And the truth be told, this is not something that emerged with myself where Mark Goldin is concerned in terms of the concerns I would have shared. I shared these concerns with Comrade Portia Simpson-Miller. I raised it some of the VPs who are now, former VPs who are now around Mark Goldin will be able to say to him that, but Venetia has consistently raised, well, he knows, but I've consistently raised these things in meetings, to say, listen, you cannot have a member of the officer corps who does not share the values of the party in terms of having the person in a position of leadership.
To the best of your knowledge, has there been a retraction by him, and would you accept one?
I have never heard a retraction what I've heard is a furtherance of his position. I mean, Richie, let me tell you, I have heard persons who are supposed to know better starting to say that, it is okay for him to shift the philosophical direction of the party. Richie, that is like doing a deed poll and changing your name. Because let me just say what is critical, and I want you to indulge me. The average Jamaican listening to you right now might very well accept that they would if they didn't go research it. But I'm wondering, so what is this? Socialism, and they're going to be confusing it with communism, which it isn't. They're going to be confusing it with hardline socialism, which it isn't. Democratic socialism is something, it is basically a concept, a political concept that espouses one, democracy, which allows for people through a free space, meaning they have their liberty, and so it's a twinning of democracy with some elements of socialism, which allows for the centralization of certain systems such as education and healthcare to make sure that good, not equal, but good opportunities are available to persons so that they can make a better life. So essentially what you're saying, is that everybody not going to be equal, Richie, although socialism in and of itself, which is another concept, is promoting equal opportunity for all. Mm-hmm. Democratic socialism recognizes that sometimes that is not completely possible, but we want reasonable and good opportunity for every single person in a country to be able to better themselves and have the freedom to make their choices. So the private sector person, so the truth is, it is not exclusive to the PNP, because there are democratic socialist principles that the GLP, sometimes by way of their projects and their policies, might very well, Richie, espouse. So it is that balance that the People's National Party would lead in terms of how our population would be given a reasonable opportunity to better themselves. It is not a dependency system. It is a system of self-reliance, and it's a system of choice, but it must be that all the people have a say in the existing social order that is supposed to protect them. Now, what in that would be divisive?
So do you sense that the PNP, with the current leadership then, is being morphed into something else than what it was or intended to be?
there are some who would want that, and I believe that one of that some I just referred to is Mr. Mark Golding, because he said this. It's not something I'm trying to read out of his behavior and might be open to misconception. It is something that he explicitly expressed, and to my certain knowledge, has not walked back. When you listen to my initial interview before you called me for this one, I did say that unless he plans to walk that back with sincerity, having a better appreciation for democratic socialism, right? Because the people, the masses of the people that he's talking about, the comrades he's talking to every day, will only benefit through a system that allows their empowerment and development. They would not benefit, Richie, from a capitalistic system, which is about essentially balance sheet and about, making sure that people are wrapped around services. Services have to be wrapped around people, Richie. We must have people at the center all the time. Balance sheets of a country are supposed to benefit the people of that country, and that's what the People's National Party is saying. So democratic socialism is not an irresponsible philosophy. It's just a philosophy that says people must be first. Why else are you trying to have a big NIR? Not to benefit the people of Jamaica?
It is a subject that is very dear to your heart, I can tell, based on your explanations. And obviously, I did ask you if a retraction came, if that would be acceptable. I don't think I got an answer to that, Venetia.
Oh, no. I have nothing personal against Mark. So if I should see or hear that Mark Golding has explained his position or there's a shift in his position, then I have no difficulty saying to the comrades that, you know what, I have no problem. The party should move ahead with making sure now that the messaging to the people of Jamaica would be clear that there is this commitment and there is unison here. But at this point, there isn't any. So if Mark Golding walks that back, and I said that yesterday, then that's a completely different situation. But the basis on which I authorized the KCC to cease making contributions to the PNP is for the simple reason that I do not know on what premise any agenda led by Mark Golding would be advanced. And so what I did, Richie, I never just said, okay, stop paying my money. I contacted some senior persons within the region and colleagues of mine in KCC, and I said, listen, the contribution that I'm ceasing, which is about $7,000 something that you pay every month, right, Richie?
Okay.
Both to the caucus and to the party, and I think the MPs pay $15. I said to them, listen to me, every month, can you find a person to which this must be directed, a comrade who is in need? Because what I want is for a comrade to be able to benefit from it.
Okay.
What I have not seen from a Mark Golding, for example, Richie, when I sit down and I look, I've been asking from the very day Comrade Golding took over, what are those things that we're going to say to Jamaica that is going to convince them that the People's National Party is now ready to assume the reins of Jamaica? There are some concerns we should have. COVID is happening. It's a very different reality. The messaging out of the PNP regarding COVID, particularly how Mark speaks, it's just dismal. It does not inspire hope in the people of Jamaica. The world is confronting this at the same time as Jamaica. We need to have a coherent message. We need to be promoting discipline in our people, Richie, because our society is broken.
Let me ask you,
Mark
Venetia.
Golding, tell the people that the fines are exorbitant. You don't even say to them, look, you are supposed to be wearing your mask.
Wow.
But let's talk about some other stuff that we could see how best the police will be in a position to evaluate before they charge.
Messaging is obviously very important.
Yes.
Where does this leave your representation, though, of the Papine Division? With
No. Remember, you remain elected until the term over. And remember, Mark, this has nothing to do with my serving notice on the party that I would not have returned as councillor. So I was never going to run. I was never going to be facing the electorate again. Certainly not as councillor. When I ran in the general election as a member of parliament, even prior to running, I indicated to the party the timeline that I personally would have for representation, because while I want to continue to make a contribution to my country, Richie, I want to be able to do that in other ways as well. Representation is not the only vehicle.
Yeah.
I believe in public service, and there were some other things that I am pursuing, in order to be able to continue to make the kind of contribution I think I can make.
I think I have enough time to ask you one more question. Do you believe that the People's National Party will ever get back to unity?
Absolutely. We are a resilient party. We've seen conflicts. Mark has not demonstrated right now the capacity to deal with dissenting views, which is why you ended up with, for example, some talk about expulsion of Karen. You have to be able to manage those things. Those are essentially things that the People's National Party, through its leadership, would have been able to do. But we are not seeing this kind of responsible leadership out of Mark Golding yet. What we are seeing still is a them and us, meaning you didn't support me, so we don't want you around kind of thing. And that is a recipe for disaster.
Are there a lot of persons in the party that are, in fact, taking a similar view like yours?
I wish I could show you my phone and you would be able to answer that question for yourself.
Oh, interesting. Venetia, it's been great talking with you, and I wish you continued success in all that you do. Take care.
Blessings, my brother.
Every time. A chat there with People's National Party Councilor for the Papine Division, Venetia Phillips. I'm hearing that hail was seen in Kingston, I think, yesterday. You heard that? Yeah. With all the rainfall that we've been having, persons have been talking about the fact that they confirmed that hail was in Kingston just sometime, I think, yesterday. One person posted a photograph of what seems to be ice fragments on a mat, along with the caption, "First in my life I'm experiencing hail in Jamaica." Is that a sign of the times? Do we read any prophecy coming through there? I have to consult with Jody on this one. Of the members of my team, I think she would be the easiest one to express a level of understanding of such issues. But hail in Kingston? Richie, we're not young, a dog of my vintage ain't no pup, but I can't recall hearing about hail. Last time I spoke about hail, I was like, yo, hail brethren, walk on. Now we're talking about hail during rainfall. Something is happening. I want to get some a prophetic look at it. DJ Audley, we were talking about hail and the impact that can have on one's vehicle. It can have a serious impact.
Yeah, man.
When them things there fall, you've seen it in movies.
Listen,
you have not experienced it, right?
Problem.
Yeah. It's like big rock stone I drop on vehicle.
Hello, like a half a block. Here Shams will visit them with pure big stone.
Like hailstone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and does a lot of damage to the vehicles, and not just to the Duco, but also to the body of the vehicles as well.
Well, I tell you more importantly, if you're caught outside in that,
Yeah, man, while dropping on your head top.
You're wearing a hard hat, brother.
Yeah. If one of that dropping on your head top.
No trouble.
You're no problem.
You're out.
Yeah, knock right out.
Man, you're out.
Yeah. You heard about the passenger on an aircraft in I think it's in Florida. Yeah, he actually having landed at the Miami International Airport, and guess what he did? He opened the emergency door and walked out onto the wing of the aircraft. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know if it was like there was a long line. I don't know if it was a jam-packed plane. He was way to the back, and he couldn't wait to go through all of that process where you're trying to deplane and people are not moving fast enough. Maybe there were some persons who, were challenged and are moving slowly. Maybe some elderly people. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Why would he decide? Thank God it didn't happen while the plane was up in the air. I mean, many of us have sat in that airplane and we have thought to ourselves, okay, what would it be like if this door was open? I've sat there and I've asked to myself, I'm saying, I wonder how difficult this is to open, but I've never tried to open the goddamn door. This man says, listen, my curiosity is getting the better of me, so I want to know what, and he just went out, of course, shortly thereafter, he was arrested, and law enforcement people swooped in on him and took him away. It was an American Airlines flight, and we haven't heard much from him or of him since. But we're not recommending that you take that action. That is for emergencies. And he had absolutely no emergency. The aircraft had landed at the Miami International Airport, and he went on to open the emergency door and walk out on the wing. I guess he wanted to be a newsmaker. Joining us at this time is the chairman and CEO of Downsounds Records, and he's also the chairman of Reggae Sumfest. Big man indeed himself, Joseph Bogdanovich. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Richie. It's good to hear your voice.
Thank you. Good to hear you too. You're not in Jamaica right now. I won't ask where you are, but we're happy to have you on the program. How is everything going, Joe?
Well, things are really, really busy. Getting ready for Sumfest for 2022 in July, which will be the 17th through the 23rd. If all go well, if everything goes well with the COVID and people get it under control, which I certainly hope so, and it looks like we're going in the right direction in Jamaica, which is vaccinations.
You had made an announcement earlier that there was the possibility of doing a Reggae Sumfest late edition sort of in November. Have those plans now been canceled for this year, 2021?
I think it's looking really tough to be really ready this year based on the kind of spikes that we've had recently, but everything's possible, as you know, Richie.
Mm-hmm. So you're not ruling it out 100%. Is it that you're thinking even of staging a virtual edition again?
I really, we don't like really repeating ourselves, Richie. We, I think we set the bar rather high with 2020, hitting, a lot of millions of people watching a live show for 2.5 hours. Are you hearing me okay?
I'm hearing you loud and clear, yes.
Okay. Hundreds of thousands watching it last time. Mm-hmm. And I hear a lot of interference on the phone here, so I don't know if you're hearing me.
I'm hearing you clearly, but that's not coming through. Go ahead, Joe. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but this time we might give you a little taste of something live, though. We don't want to really do anything online. We might do just a little celebration of Reggae Sumfest and maybe have a few acts. It really depends on what happens between now and December.
Okay. So that would be, you're not prepared to say a date yet. Is that likely to be late November, early December? Any date in mind?
Well, I'm looking around the holiday period in December.
Okay.
If it happens, I just, I don't think they're going to get any permits if things are not under control. Mm-hmm. So I really can't say. It's really a wish, and it's kind of like a holiday, maybe dream come true, and maybe we'll do something to keep Reggae Sumfest in everybody's hearts and minds over the season. Especially
for all these loyal fans who have supported this festival through the years. Mm-hmm. Now, Joe, what are your thoughts on the vaccination process? And do you really believe that the entertainment industry will get back to normalcy? And if so, anytime soon?
Well, as you know, in Jamaica, vaccines is a rather quarrelsome topic.
Yes.
But I think if you look at what's the reality, France is saying that nobody really can come into their country unless they're fully vaccinated. Canada is, I think, saying, I don't know if they're there yet, and the USA is saying that in November, in early November, they're going to require vaccinated travel into the country. So that says a lot about the future of what's happening in terms of the world and vaccinations. But in terms of artists, I mean, artists, I have a lot of them are resistant, and understandably so. But, in order to work in America and Europe and France and Canada and other places, I mean, you won't get a work permit unless you're vaccinated. So that's what's happening. That's the reality. And I think that you got to think about not only yourself as being a spreader of the vaccine, but then you got to think about your friends, and then you got to think about your family, and then you got to think about your neighborhood, the community, the country. Where do you stand when it comes to your responsibility as a planetary citizen of the world, And I think that the variants will continue to multiply until we kill this thing at the root. And that's what we got to do, is we got to kill this virus, as in terms of being unified as global citizens. And I'm here in New York, and I went to the show there, the Global Citizen Show, last Sunday,
Yes.
which was phenomenal here in New York, and I guess it was pretty good in Paris. I think it was in London too, and they brought in $1.1 billion to be able to deal with less privileged countries and be able to get people safe. And I think that's phenomenal. Great achievement.
All right. Well, we don't have a lot of time. I think you have another meeting coming up shortly. I want to get a few things in, Joe. Let's look at what's been happening recently. We all know of a meeting that was taking place looking like a party with a government minister and some friends. And we know what happened. Subsequently, the government minister had to resign. That party was taking place at a hotel of which you are one of the owners, the R Hotel in Kingston. Subsequently, we understand that the police have been trying to get some weather information by way of tapes and other things from the owners of that hotel. Can you give us an update on where it's at this morning?
Well, Richie, that's a rather controversial topic.
Yes.
But I can tell you that we're in full cooperation with the police department about what happened that Sunday. And I wasn't there at the time. I was actually in the country, nor was the general manager. And I really, it's all really up into the courts, and the lawyers are handling this thing. And I really, I'm not really in a position to really talk about it, except that it's a football that's flying around back and forth, if you get the drift.
Oh yeah, that's how you see it. So it's
the way I see it, but it'll work out.
Yeah,
they'll get to the truth. We're not hiding anything. We're just trying to cooperate and get through the pandemic.
Okay. And so your lawyers are handling this primarily then. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. That's the way you do it.
Okay. All right. Joe, what's happening at Downsounds Records? You have some artists right now that have been making some major moves. How proud are you of them? And tell us what's happening with your roster of artists at Downsound.
Well, Richie, we were in the record business for a long time, as you know, and then we stopped after a while because we just got fed up with the intolerance of young artists and what happens with not honoring contracts, and big disappointment with the team. So, but now lately, in the last year or so, we've been getting back into the business, and we're really happy with Diani, who's a tremendous artist and very, very talented and easy to work with. So far, great, and making a lot of progress. The thing that every song, he's a great songwriter. He's a good, he's got a good work ethic and a clean energy. And it's really a relief and a pleasure to work with somebody like him. And he's doing well. He's got a song out there which is a combination with Jada Kingdom called Feelings. That's close to 3 million views on YouTube. And I think you're going to see a big explosion. What's going to happen with that record if all goes well internationally. Okay. He also has been doing something with this other company. I can't remember the name of it right now, but it looks like some good things are happening there. And then we have Marcy Chin, who's a very talented young lady and multi-talented and great songwriter and different kind of energy, and we've been working with her for a while, and we'll see what happens with her. We're doing a lot of recording, working on her image. I'm sorry?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. You're working on her image as well, yes?
I hear some echo. It's hard to hear you.
Oh, sorry. You said you're working on her image as well, right?
Yeah, everything. That's what we do with artists. We take them 360 degrees and make sure that they communicate the best way they can to an international market. So the investment in artists will continue going forward with Downsounds Records. Absolutely. And by the way, we can't leave one of our founding fathers there in terms of artistry, Harry Toddler, who continues to make records and keeps that spirit alive. And adds a lot of energy, energy, so keep it real.
Yes.
Keep it real.
Listen, you've been in the music business for such a long time. If I should ask you on a lighter note in closing out to select one of the songs that came out of your studios and deliver one line of one of those of the song that you select in the way that the DJ or singer might have delivered it. Joe, you must be able to do that this morning. Come on, let's hear it. Find a song. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's hear it.
Mama hungry, do something for the poor. Mm-hmm. Fontan Moja.
Let's give Joseph Bogdanovich a nice big round of applause. You can listen. The next time I'm on air, I'd love to play a song that you did, man. You sound like you've got talent.
We did a nice thing with Jaw Cure. You remember?
I remember.
Behind prison walls or whatever it was called. It was a pretty phenomenal record and with a lot of things, So.
Yes. All right.
Bounty Killer was always a fun guy to work with, and Beanie Man, and people that really have big catalogs.
Yeah.
To be able to contribute to that is, a privilege.
It is a privilege indeed. We're happy to have you investing the way you have been through the years in our music and entertainment industry. We wish you well, Joe. Thank you so much for the time this morning. I know you're rushing off to another meeting. Take care. Have a great day.
Great. Thank you, and big up to everybody at the bridge.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Hey, guess who's in the building? First lady's here. The vibe's done up all of a sudden. She's here. Good morning. That microphone is the one that you're going to be working. Yeah, I think that one. What's up?
Yes, sir.
D'Angelo Wagwan.
I'm great. Can you
Yeah, she's giving some instructions because she wants to make sure that all of this is captured in the right and proper way.
Definitely.
Good day, sir. Yo, do you know that when you turn that camera on, you're filming the First Lady of Dancehall? You know that, right? He's giving thumbs up like, it's my pleasure. Good morning, D'Angel. Thank you for joining us. And while you give instructions to your camera team, we just want to make sure that all of our listeners get a chance to know that she's in the building. She has her own slang that she uses. When I say D'Angel, you say...
Answer!
All right. That is like the signature sound that we have come... How did that come about, by the way, D'Angel?
I was in the studio doing Downtown Girl Living an Uptown Life. And when I did the intro, it just came up. And, it's a slang where, the girls, them, especially from the inner city, them always attack and I say, and so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so it just came from that vibe and energy. And from this, it just
so the people in the studio said, yo, I like how that sounds. Or you just kind of developed a liking for it?
No, me just say it. And then the ranks actually say, keep that. Mm-hmm. That's their signature.
Yeah.
So that's been it from ever since.
Yeah, that's a few years now.
Yeah.
And look at you now.
Celebrating 16 years in the music.
Are you serious?
Yes. Very serious as a judge. Yes.
Channel. You've been here for quite a while and you've had a whole lot of successes.
Yes.
How would you describe the journey, D'Angel?
Wow, the journey, learning and growing and accomplishing and overcoming and I want to something, getting a lot of accolades, awards from you, of course. I've gotten the award for Best Female Artist, Sing J of the Year. We get all kind of thing and accolades. It comes with a lot of challenges, but I use music to tend to overcome my challenges.
You are an overcomer. You know, when I look at your journey, D'Angel, I don't think many females could have gone through all that you've gone through and still be standing so strong and powerful in the industry right now, like almost like a column in at the
I tell you, column, them can't get me out. It's a blessing. I don't know. I mean, the inner strength is from God, and just the willpower and just keeping focus and sane. Because me not drink, me not smoke, or nothing at all. So when me just keep saying that I have to survive, I have to win, I have to accomplish my dreams and my goals, and nothing gonna stop me. Because my mom raised me like that. She always said, make nigger people rejoice over you, make people mouth rejoice over you, and them something there. So I always say, no care what you do, no care what you say, I'm gonna keep going to fulfill my dreams and fulfill my purpose that me come up on earth for them.
Remind me of a song by Shabba Ranks, willpower, strong mind, and ability.
Yes.
And you put all of those together in what you do.
And keep going.
Every day.
No doubt. I mean, I've had challenges where I really have to, sad times and times when I have to just So Father God, why me? But I just say, you know what? You just born, you create me to do this because I'm an angel.
Let me tell you something. I'm just going to use one example when I saw your strength coming through at a show in Mandeville in the early stages when some things were happening in your life and some people were taking sides and you were being bashed left, right, and center. And I think we introduced you and you went out there. There were some boos and so on.
Yeah.
And you just focused on your own fans.
Yes.
And you said something like, all of the DNGL fans, you know.
Yeah.
And you just blocked out all of those
Everything.
boos. And you went through your entire set.
Entire set in Mandeville. I never forget that.
How did you do this?
Me no me do it. Me just say me no trouble no. Me no do no nothing no. When me do no, that take side pa me don't know nothing. And me say me come here to do a show and me go do me show. And me say all of my fans them there me just drop. Tell bad mind say loud, they make them whisper. When them attack, I me hear me smile. Cause me know to myself say I got me love and everything is for a while. Just when the song built out pan them, angel me are the artist of the future. Enough of them know me would have turn entertainer. Show them know me as a first class smuggler. Spanish town me come from. Enough I say yeah, me just go on, me just start go hard and me just start go on. So me I deal with every situation.
Let me tell you something. Your story is an inspiration. And I don't know, the book is coming, right?
Yeah, man.
It has to.
Has to. It's a must.
Yeah,
it
is a must.
It's the journey on fulfill. So that is coming. That is coming.
All right. D'Angel, recently we had a conversation with our production team here, and I said, we need to get D'Angel to talk about what she's doing because I'm so impressed with what you're doing right now.
Thank you.
Remember now, D'Angel is not going to be ranked as the biggest female selling artist out of Jamaica. She has not scored on Billboard charts. She's not making the kind of money that others sometimes do.
Yeah.
But out of the little that you have decided to go on a journey of helping people.
Yeah.
I am personally impressed, and I want to publicly congratulate you on that effort.
Thank you so much.
Tell us about the what inspired you to get involved in this act of giving through your Angels Foundation.
Right. Spread a little love through my Angels Foundation. Growing up in Spanish Town, my mother never really have enough to give us. So I decided to do food because sometimes if I go to a bed, my bed is not really full, but it taught us to be satisfied.
Right.
So back in 2017, I just decided I entered a competition of some food cook-off, and them say you have to donate the proceeds to a charity. So I said, what me not a charity? I'm just say right away, say, you know what? Somebody advised me to start a foundation right away. So right away, I just say, you know what, Angels Foundation. So I took the money that I received and I gave it to Spanish Town Infirmary. Okay. That's where I'm, Spanish Town born and raised.
From, right?
So I did that to Spanish Town Infirmary, and from then on, I keep going. I did mustard seed, and the big excitement started. It's actually from me and my son. Angels Foundation is me and my son, Markedine, because he's a giver as well. What prompted me now again to start back the foundation and put a spotlight on it is the pandemic. When the pandemic struck in 2020 of May, I'm like, well, God, what got me now? Yeah. Because I was thinking of what got me to the people then because I realized that this is serious. So I called up some of my co-worker them and I say, let's do a benefit concert.
These are entertainers like yourself, okay?
Yeah. There were the likes of Beanie Man, G-Wiz, Singing Melody, and Triple X hosted. Okay. And it was a big fundraising concert.
I remember that.
Yeah. And all the proceeds that I raised, we did almost 1,000 care package.
Wow.
Yes, we did 1,000 care package. We could have feed the multitude.
And these are packages with food items and
every kind of food you can think of. In there. I have to put a thanks to Honeybun that came on board. They park up them truck. I couldn't believe it. They gave me like more than 2,000 supplies. Me shocked till me week. I'm like, what kind of blessings this? Only one big up on herself. CB Chicken also chipped in sometime. Hal's chip in. And we've been doing this right throughout the year. People call me all the time and rush out me in a rain, me in a sun, me in a shine. I just keep going. Me in every community. People come from Montego Bay, Mobile, well, same place. Portland, St. Thomas, everywhere, every parish. People come from just because like a care package. Sometimes when them come up, them don't have no free for go home. Okay. So I have to give them back free for go home.
Dip in your pocket, yeah.
Yes, but I always dip in the pocket.
Right.
So I decided last week I fed over 56 persons because I was doing it single-handedly, dropping off 10 packages here, meeting people all over the place selectively. So I said, you know what? I've identified elderly from the community, Mr. Pines, that doesn't live anywhere. Absolutely, he have a vibrant personality. He almost 80. everybody know Mr. Pines, and
Which community is this?
Spanish Town, Rivoli.
Okay.
Rivoli. And I identified Mr. Pines, and I said, oh my God, because I used to give him care package around the front of the yard. So one day I decided to just go around the back, and when I went around there and I saw his living condition, it never normal.
Broken heart.
It never normal. Broken heart. Everything is on my page, The Angel Music. So I said, what me I gonna do now? So I decided to have a little care package handover, which is 56 person last week, and just narrow in and focus on building Mr. Pine's house.
Wow.
So that me decided
to do.
And this would be the first, me take on
that's a major project.
Bad. So me decide say, Mr. Pines is, alright, him have a foot condition, so him walk with a walker, so him have to walk with it and push it. And he's a man to stay home. Him they all over the place. So at least to have and appear zinc and maca and bag wire and all kind of stuff.
I saw the video. Yeah.
Yeah, it's there. It's proof. It's there to go up into his little room. Somebody decided say, care package take up a lot of time. People bear with me. Let's just focus on Mr. Pines and getting Mr. Pines' house built.
That is what you're focusing on now.
Yeah.
How far gone are you? And can people contribute on that kind of stuff?
Of course, definitely.
You started the construction?
Yeah, the construction start.
Yeah.
Luckily, my sister, she had a better structure where she has a property close by.
Okay.
So she decided to just give him one of our rooms with a better structure. Because if we were supposed to build Mr. Pine's house from scratch, now I don't know, and it costs a lot of money.
Right.
Because we never know so much money it costs to build a house. And so much money for material and them something there.
Yes, and everything I go up.
Every time I got the hardware, I say, Lord Jesus, budget big up on yourself. Them give me one look at discount to a day, tank on the budget. But it is very expensive, but we have different platforms where persons can contribute. I
want to hear about those. Put them out there so they can know.
Yes. I have my PayPal, I have the Zelle and the Cash App. So the Cash App is the money sign 2006 MD. The Zelle angelsproduction@gmail.com, and the PayPal is the same angelsproduction@gmail.com. I'm taking all wire transfer, all bank transfers, all remittance, everything. I'm very, very easy to find. You can also shoot me an email, angelsproduction@gmail.com. For find me, you can send me a DM on Instagram, The Angel Music. Me not hard to find. I am an accessible artist. I am out there. We don't know, I'm visible. I'm not hard to find. I'm in the hide in the trenches and the gullies. We don't find me and let's do this. I tell persons they can contribute even a bag of cement. It's fine.
Yeah. If you don't have cash, you can a bag of nails, whatever, man.
Whatever.
Just support the project.
I have the list.
Yeah.
I have the list.
This is now something that you're doing as a one-off, or is this something you're going to continue for a while yet? I
really want to continue. I mean, so much spotlight is shining on me, and food is my priority. Angels Foundation primarily deals with the
anything from the political directorate.
Children.
Anything from the political directorate.
No political personal reach out to me. I'll know. And they're seeing my work, and I just think that they should have reached out to me because I never had to do this. I remember, so we have a bright spotlight. So sometimes when all of this pandemic is going on, we understand. Yeah. But good things is going on too. I am doing
Highlight
good.
the good.
I am doing good. Yes.
And that is what we're doing right now. It's 2 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're very, very pleased to have The Angel here with us, talking about a lot of the good that she's doing in the communities. I also want to get an idea as to what's happening on your musical side now. Are you still out there actively recording?
Of course. Never tap me.
Yeah.
Never tap me.
That never stops.
Never stop. Never sleep. Never stop. Never sleep.
Yeah.
But like it's what it is. Some you will persons highlight what they want highlight, but The Angel never stop. I have a song entitled "Good Girl." I have the video as well. It's a go on gold. People love it. Because I represent for females. Period. You know, me are the backbone for the female. Them that not change. So that is going out itself, and I am now in process of producing my first EP.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When's that coming, The Angel?
This year, This year.
Is that 2021 project?
Yes, it's almost finished.
Is it titled?
Exposed.
Wow.
And why it's entitled Exposed? I mean, I've had just like everything else, I've had a situation that happened that propelled me to write about it. I was exposed.
You were?
I was exposed, yes.
It wasn't you?
Somebody wanted me.
Oh.
A lot of things were
I was wondering.
Back of Photoshop go on. Back of Photoshop go on, but it's like me can't tell nobody.
You saw?
Me can't tell nobody nothing. So whatever. Whatever. But a lot of things were photoshopped, and it just deemed to to kind of put a negative spin on me. And I'm saying, you know what? I don't do well with negativity, and I will rise above it. I'm the one who sang Stronger for who don't know.
Right.
I've been through it all. So no matter where to say I want to expose, I'm going to come back. So that's where I wrote
Got the
Exposed
inspiration.
to
Okay.
do Exposed, and it's now over 2 million views.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic.
Look a bit over a year now, it's released, over 2 million views.
Yeah.
So that prompted me to just go all out and just talk about my experience.
One other question I have to ask, as we have to wrap up shortly for our next agenda item. But has OnlyFans as a participant, as you are, has it been a profitable experience?
Of course.
Yeah.
It made me live and survive because, with the pandemic, music not go on, the show not keep. So I had to find a way to survive, to take care of myself and my family. And put food on my table. So that's it, my honest living. And now I'm going off to the US. I have a tour.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going off.
Starting when?
This starting October. Starting
Okay.
early next month. So for promoters that's listening right now, book the long and lean doll. Because I am coming.
The long and lean doll. That's a new one to my vocabulary.
The tour will
The
be called
Angel.
Exposed as well. So
Okay.
I'm coming at you, Tri-State, New York.
You
52
are an
states.
inspiration,
I
I'm
will be
sure,
there.
to many people. Really nice catching up with you this morning, and we wish you continued success on all of the different platforms that you're working on.
Oh, yes.
Big up Marco Dean, must be almost taller than you now,
Can I
right?
tell you, Marco did almost taller than me. Them people grow so fast.
I know.
He's home now doing online school. Big up, Marco
Yeah.
Dean.
Your final
Love
words to
you.
your fans out there.
Yeah, big up to my fans all over the world, and thank you so much for supporting my mission. And I have multi-personalities now. I have a skit coming up soon. Popular the news anchor, all these different personalities
Everything
that I do. I'm doing so much, and I thank you so much, guys, for staying with me on this journey. And make sure that you support the cause. And I'm trying to finish Mr. Pine's house before I leave to the US for my tour.
Support that venture.
So I'm going to support the venture. Follow me on
right.
Instagram at The Angel Music. Thank you so much for having me. This
Always a
interview.
pleasure.
It's always refreshing to speak to you, Richie.
Yeah, man. And same here. Oh, you hear that? That's the Angel, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah, you have to be proud of her and all that she's doing. And she has a good heart. We wish her well. Big respects every time, the Angel. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment of truth. In fact, it is the moment that you have been waiting for. By the powers vested in me, I have been given the authority, and I take it as a great privilege at this time to be proud to announce the arrival of the newest member of the Bridge 99 FM family. I had the pleasure of greeting her in the parking lot yesterday as I was making my exit. We had communication and confirmation, and now we take it to the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, Bridge 99 FM publicly announces the arrival of Queen Elise Kelly! It's not just an announcement, it's an interview. Good morning, Elise.
Good morning, Richie. Oh my goodness. I thought I was an artist for you to bring me on first.
Why? And by the way, that is unscripted.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Richie. It was good to see you yesterday in the parking lot.
Oh, what a joy it was. And if Roy, please greet Queen Elise for me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so humbled, by the way. And Richie made it sound like he was at a reggae festival or at Jazz and Blues Festival bringing in an artist, but he's bringing in a legend. So the intro is befitting. Welcome,
Right, I
Elise.
felt like an artist a while ago.
I said to her in the parking lot yesterday, I said, hey, Queen Elise, I hope you're getting back in the game. She says, yes, and then I said to her, by the way, I hope it's not too far from the bridge. Here, no, man, upon the bridge. You want to see me a jump like, hey, you remember Elise, don't you?
Oh my gosh. So many concerts I've seen. I mean, I can go back as far as Sashi.
Oh, boy.
Her interview with Super Cat.
I
Legendary.
just watched that the other day.
Sashi, oh my gosh. Elise, welcome.
Thank you so very much.
Oh my God.
Thank you very much.
How are you feeling right now, Elise? Having signed on the dotted lines and done the photo shoot and now getting ready for your first show. What is the mindset? What is the mood? What is the vibe like?
Okay. First of all, very thankful, very grateful. I got a break, and you know, my heart is always with the people and always with broadcasting. So I give the Almighty thanks first and foremost for all that He has done and all that He continues to do.
And that is important. You have been in the game for a long time. Like myself and DJ Roy, they regard us as veterans. Many people will remember you from your sojourn at the Ocherius-based radio station, but I don't know how many of them actually know that it started even before that, didn't it?
It started at Fame. It started 1983, was it? I remember that day so well when I looked at the board, because I'd never gone into a studio before, a radio studio before, because I was at JIS.
Uh-huh.
And I remember Francois Sanjou showing me the board and saying that this is the board that I'm going to have to operate. And I smiled and said, nice meeting all of you.
This is where I take my exit?
Yeah, but I did, and it was actually the best introduction I could have gotten from radio because of the caliber of broadcasters that were there at the time.
Yeah. And look at you now, 30 years later, getting back in the game after taking a nice little period to, I suspect, rest and re-energize yourself so that you can take on this mammoth task ahead. We're looking forward to it, and we're very excited to have you on board here at the Bridge. Are you at liberty to say times and, show and any detail in that regard?
Yes, I am. But before I go there, Richie had asked me a question that I haven't really answered. And it is, of course, as broadcasters, we have choices, especially, people like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And what choice do we really make? That is a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that really made me want to choose Bridget.
Tell us.
I entered radio and learned from the best of them. I did my stint at Irie and brought that expertise to Irie.
Mm-hmm.
And now I can actually work again with my broadcasting colleagues. Which is the first time I work with you,
True. After all these years. I mean, in terms of a radio station setting. Because we have done a lot of hosting together. Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But on radio. So I was kind of yearning. But when I saw the lineup, I don't know the team that shows the lineup on Bridge FM, but whatever team that is, yes, boy, I don't know, pick it.
Big up store directors and their affiliates.
Indeed.
And Raw, you don't distance yourself from all of this, okay? Distance yourself from all of this.
No, what I would like to say to Elise, that you have a fan base outside of Jamaica like no other. Because to listen to you back in the days, we had to pay. Because the station that you were on, you had to pay to listen to it when you're there foreign. And so many people paid to listen to you. So I can't wait for the New Yorkers and people from Connecticut and people from Jersey, people from Miami, Canada, and England. Now they can listen on Bridge 99 FM without paying. So your fan base is going to grow from strength to strength. I can't. What do you have to say to them?
DJ Roy, it's very interesting that you even mentioned that, because one of the first questions that I asked when I was talking to Clyde McKenzie, I said, Clyde, are we on the internet? He said, yes. I said, do my listeners have to pay? He said, no. I said, hallelujah.
Argument done.
And I have you know, when you left, I canceled my subscription.
with all due respect.
With all due respect.
we have hosted. She's a fantastic host, and she has emceed, like myself, many of the major events locally. She has gone on tour as an MC all across Europe. Elise, you know which one stands out in my mind most?
Which one?
When Buju Banton was under house arrest and was allowed by the authorities in the United States to do one event in Florida.
I remember.
And I flew up. You did too. I got there ahead of you to the venue. Buju Banton embraced me. He says, Richie, you're going to bring me on. And then within 20 minutes or so thereafter, Elise arrived. And after the greeting and the hugs and everything, he says, Richie, yourself and Mama Elise will be charged with the responsibility of introducing me. You remember Elise?
Clear. Oh, come on, Richie. As broadcasters, we have some highlights.
Richie,
Richie, that must have been one of them.
Richie, what you're not remembering is that I brought on you and Elise.
Really? Did you
I was the one to introduce you and Elise, and I think the cell phone service line was covering it on the phones at the time.
Yes.
And they said, all right, Roy, here's what I want you to do. I'm an MC. I want you to bring on Elise Kelly and Richie B.
Yeah.
But you guys are icons, so I was humbled and proud.
Yeah, because
I didn't know that, DJ Roy.
So much was happening, Elise, and remember there was a crunch for time, and so from Roy to you and then to me, as professionals, we only had about 3 or so minutes or less, and we concluded that introduction, gave Buju Banton the best we could do, and then he went on to rip up the place. That was such a moment.
Yes, that was a moment indeed. Absolutely.
All three of us are on Bridge
I remember
99.
that, Richie B. What is wrong with you?
You can't forget. So it's gonna be more. It's gonna be more of the same, I suspect, and maybe a little tweaking here and there. What can we expect, and what can you say in terms of your times on the bridge?
Right. Okay. Well, for now, I'm going to be working on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon.
Oh.
And the major difference would be that I can now play for the diaspora.
Oh.
So I'm looking forward to that.
We are looking forward. We're happy that you're here with us. It is just an exciting time for radio, and we know you're going to bring your A game. We wish you all the best as you come forward on the bridge. We're here to welcome you and to enjoy you as well, Elise. Enough love, and welcome once again.
Thank you for the welcome, Richie, and have a wonderful day. You too, DJ Roy.
Much love, much love.
All right, that was a chat with Elise Kelly, the newest member of the Bridge 99 FM family. Catch her starting next Tuesday at 10 o'clock in the morning, and on Thursday as well, same time, going all the way till 1.
Richie B, the party master, on Up and Go, the Bridge 99 FM.